Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 211. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my magnificent co-host, Mike.
Wow, magnificent. Thank you.
Magnificent.
Very humble main host of this podcast.
Everybody, it's a rum and coke night, so it's going to get weird.
Oh, wow. It's already weird. Before it gets weirder, everyone, we have we have an interview today with a very special guest, Frankie White, in their book 20 Fists. So stick around for that. Fantastic interview. And the book comes out next week, 20 Fists. So check it out. Local comic shop or Comixology. The first issue may or may not be 99 cents. So don't hold Frankie to that. But if Frankie's wrong, it's his fault. Don't blame us.
Yeah, not ours.
Not ours. Okay. And with that, I guess we'll just jump into the news. We got a lot of stuff to get through today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comic news, and we got a lot of shows to talk about. So, TV news, it was announced this week that Marvel's Secret Invasion has added to its cast. Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke are joining in unannounced roles. So, cashing in on that Marvel paycheck. They're like, and this kind of points to that Secret Invasion is going to be way bigger than we thought, right? You don't cast these two names without it being like hey, this is our main event.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Olivia Colman, I believe, is an Oscar winner too. So that's another Oscar winner joining the MCU. Like, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't just pull out the big guns like this. Oh, it's going to be like a TV crossover.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that as a Marvel fan? Like, Secret Invasion being the next big arc?
Secret Invasion, the comic was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be hard pressed to find the person that's like, this is the greatest event that ever happened.
But like, why Secret Invasion? I mean, we've heard about. Is there any way they can rope the Eternals into this? I guess, like,
I mean, a good writer could do anything, but
right.
I don't know. It seems more to me that this is going to tie into the next Captain Marvel movie.
Okay.
Because that's what I've been noticing with these, and we'll get into further as we get down. But like, the first two shows are really just kind of commercials for the movie. So like, WandaVision was like a giant commercial for Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2, yeah.
And then Falcon Winter Soldier to what we're going to talk about later. But
that's awesome. They're just commercials.
Yeah, like, it's really just like, let's set these characters up for the movie, which, great. They're amazing commercials. I love them. But so that's kind of the feeling I get here, is we're kind of bridging the gap between Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel 2. Mm-hmm. And that's more of what we're going to be doing than anything.
Like, if you weren't convinced, like, this is a Jeep commercial where there's several commercial installments, and like, first it's like, okay, the Jeep can climb a hill, and it's like, now we've taken it through the Rockies. It's like, it can fly. We gave it wings and a shield. Okay, now we took it away from you. Go see it in the theaters. It's like, oh, okay.
But I mean, this is huge. It's two women who have played queens in other shows.
Yep.
One actual queen and one a queen of dragons, and an Oscar winner. So it's big. Listen, the last two shows were great. Unless Loki is just a trash heap, I have no reason to think this won't be great too. So
I'm gonna leave you out on your islands about the whole Emilia Clarke being a fake queen, because that's you might die for that.
Listen, I was proven right about Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I was proven right because you all hated the ending.
Yep.
And then everybody disowned that whole fucking series.
The show never happened.
And I gave up after a while, because
you're right. Like, honestly, yeah, you're the only person I knew that gave up. Like,
so
yeah,
I feel like I'm vindicated. But that being said, I do love Emilia Clarke. She's not only a gorgeous woman, but she's a phenomenal actress. Like, I liked her in the Transformers, Terminator. The Terminator movie, like, she's good in that too.
Yeah,
so
and that movie got a lot of flack, but she definitely wasn't the worst part of the movie, for sure. And hopefully she gets the part in Aquaman. Did they announce that yet? Aquaman 2? They might have locked this down so she doesn't end up in Aquaman 2.
Who did
I
she play in Aquaman?
Well, they were getting rid of Amber Heard. Didn't they drop Amber Heard from the movie?
I think they announced that she's sticking around.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Because Amelia was also in Solo, and she was phenomenal in that, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's great. And she's, like, from what I've heard from everybody, she's just a cool person.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Good for her. All right, TV show time. Invincible this week. This is Invincible episode number 7, and yes, we have an 8th episode coming to wrap up the season. This episode, they're like, all right, we've teased you guys enough. Everybody knows about Nolan's wrongdoing. Yeah, he killed the Guardians, and everybody knows. Everybody except Mark until the end of the episode, pretty much. I mean, there's so many cool things that happen. I mean, my only gripe with the episode was when we get Robot back, it's not Zachary Quinto doing the voice. I miss Zachary Quinto's voice.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were going to do that.
Yeah, like I mean, he could have kept the voice. I guess he still has like his robots, and eventually doesn't he get back in the robot suit or something for a while? I thought.
Yeah, it's one point I remember him like the robot suit is basically an Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
like he's inside of it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they keep him as like the voice of Robot, the actual robot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget the other guy's name, but him to play the little kid.
Yeah, the creepy scene with like the body swapping and like he's like this deformed baby thing was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, although when he like transfers his consciousness or mimics his consciousness in this new body.
Yeah.
And that sequence where the baby's just like, go live the life that I never could.
Yeah.
And it was super sappy, but there was part of me that's just like, oh my god, it's terrible.
Yeah, this is sad. Like, yeah, so that was a crazy scene of him working with the Mahler twins, and then spoilers, he was like, see you guys, I don't want to help you. And then he gives them schematics for a control collar. The schematics he gives them don't work because this is where we had seen them digging up the Immortal, who was decapitated by Omni-Man, and so they revive him and they have this shock collar, and he wakes up and he rips the collar off him. And we know where he's going. He wants to kill Nolan because that's all he remembers is like getting his head chopped off by Omni-Man. So that was, I mean, you have that whole fight scene. I mean, you have them coming back from the college party, so we know Mark's single now. Ready to mingle with Adam Eve, and we're just waiting for it to happen already. Come on. But the whole reveal where he like flies into the bedroom of his ex's place and like, I'm invincible. Like he thought he was being so cool about it. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm gonna fly in through her window. She's like, I knew already. You've been lying to me for weeks. And he's like, oh. It's like, just give it a rest, Mark. It's not gonna work.
Which, yeah, like, but it's one thing about this episode I don't like is, what did she expect?
Yeah.
Like,
right. He's a superhero. Yeah.
He's a superhero, and like, it's established in this world there's superheroes and they have secret identities.
Right.
So if Mark, especially as a teenager, goes around telling everybody, like,
right.
What is he supposed to, like, after the first kiss, be like, oh, and by the way, I'm invincible.
I'm invincible. So yeah, like his best friend didn't even know.
So I really didn't like that sequence because I thought she came off like, I don't want to use the B word, but like she came off not good in that sequence. Like, is the best way.
Yeah, and I guess he had opportunities to like break up with her if he's going to keep her through the ringer like that too, but.
Yeah, that's also.
But I mean, either way,
he's trying to.
Either way, he's got to understand being in a relationship before he goes to Adam Eve because they're meant to be together.
Yeah.
Unless Kirkman throws us another curveball and something like they bring in oh man, what is it, like a Daryl for him to like like a motorcycle riding character that was never an Invincible. That's just like a super badass biker chick, and he like falls in love with her.
If I was Kirkman, because I don't think there ever was like a Ghost Rider analog, I would just create a Ghost Rider analog just so I could put Norman Reedus in the show.
And then just have Invincible fall. Oh man, he carries a crossbow and he's got a flaming motorcycle.
Norman Reedus? What the fuck's he doing here?
No questions asked. Yeah, whatever you want. But no, this show's amazing, and the fight scene with like you have Cecil throwing everything he has, and Omni-Man's just tearing through it, and then they start fighting like the giant Cthulhu kaiju monster. And like the Guardians just watching like, oh shit, who's the bad guy here?
Well, my favorite's just like Nolan being like, I already fought this thing, like, what the fuck's this? And then Cecil's just like, yeah, I pumped it full of heroin and speedballs,
right?
And now it wants to kill your ass.
Yeah, and it's pissed at you, and he's just like, oh, okay, touche. Yeah, the scene where Nolan finds the special forces people in the house.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he goes and rips out the spine of the assistant guy. That was crazy, man.
Just, I love this. The whole episode was amazing, and it was all action.
Yeah.
So like it moved the plot forward like a tad bit, but it was really just like, how many fucking death sequences can we have, and then let's make Nolan fight a giant kaiju.
Yeah, no big deal. And then the end of the episode, he reveals to his son, like, oh, he doesn't reveal to his son. He rips the Immortal in half in front of his son, and then his son is like, what? And he's like, I can explain. Yeah, good luck, buddy. You got a whole episode. So, I mean, this show's great. I hope people watching it are enjoying it. I've been pitching it as the American Dragon Ball Z, which doesn't really help because Dragon Ball Z was pretty American as far as animes go.
Yeah, it's what we talked about in the comic shop. It's Superman meets Dragon Ball Z. Like, yeah,
right.
It's really good.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah. It's Dragon Ball Z with a lot less neglect of your children and wife, like Goku does. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to go leave for months.
He was training, man. You got to get stronger.
And then he dies, then he leaves again. He's like... Anyways.
And then he comes back and is just like, Chi-Chi, I told you the boy's going to be a martial artist like me. And she's like, motherfucker, where you been for 4 months?
Like, what? You can just come in half a year later and show up like that? Okay. So the show of the week, Falcon and Winter Soldier, should we say, as they change the title at the end of the episode. This is spoilers for the show anyways. If you haven't watched it, what the hell are you doing? Captain America and Winter Soldier. Chris, I'm just let you just talk about all the great things in this episode.
The suit is perfect.
Yep.
We'll start there. Captain America fights Batroc the Leaper, which is amazing. Just everything in this episode is great. Like they perked up. They brought up Sam to be who he is, and now he's earned the mantle. And I think that's better than on episode 1. He's Cap,
right. Dude.
And there's great payoffs too. Like throughout the series, it grinded at you when Wyatt was like, I'm Captain America. I'm Captain America.
Right.
And then when Sam comes up and is like, who is that? And he's like, I'm fucking Captain America.
Right.
And you're like, damn right you are.
Yeah, like, no. And like the whole, like, Disney wasn't pulling any punches with like 50% of people like aren't going to like me as Captain America. And I'm like, that dude wasn't talking about fake characters on the show. He's talking about people in real life hating him because he's Black Captain America. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what happened in the comics world too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We know. Yeah. We saw it happen. So there was a lot of real talk, dude. The end where the Black Soldier gets his memorial in the museum.
Isaiah getting his moment at the end was phenomenal. I was so happy he got his moment.
What a great way to. Yeah. Oh man.
I love. I thought it was a little quick, the turnaround, but I love Wyatt's turnaround, and then his eventual reveal of the U.S. agent suit, which was amazing.
Yeah, right.
And my favorite line of the whole thing, though, is just like this throwaway line when he's lifting up the SWAT vehicle, And the two black guys are standing there, and the one guy's like, "It's fucking Black Falcon."
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, "No, that's Captain America." I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yes. Yeah, that was great.
It's
and
my
I guess,
only disappointment of the whole episode was and it's like it's a very minute little thing, but like I was kind of hoping that Bucky was gonna get like the star on his arm again,
yeah, right.
and like we were gonna get like that shot of it's Cap and Bucky.
Yeah.
But him
Maybe.
getting the redemption at the end, telling the guy, being like, "Listen, I'm the one that did the thing to your kid, and I'm an asshole."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. And it's once again like we saw WandaVision. WandaVision was all about depression and losing somebody and how someone deals with guilt.
Yep.
And this was all about, I mean, half of it was about Sam trying to take over the mantle as a black man in America, and then the other half was Bucky dealing with PTSD and the issues of his past that he's not proud of.
Yeah.
So like they're dealing with some deep, heavy shit.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, I got to see Captain America fight Batroc the Leaper.
Yeah. So you were pretty happy about that.
I loved it. That was a great episode.
I like the Baron getting his butler to blow up the remaining super soldiers. That was pretty awesome. I was like, who's the old dude with the detonator? Oh shit, that dude's the butler. Yeah, and then what about the whole reveal with the handler at the end? So she actually wasn't she was actually bad the whole time. The agent.
Oh yeah, so Sharon, Power Broker, that's what it was.
Power Broker.
Sharon, I had felt like after the last episode that she was Power Broker. I thought it was pretty obvious when she called Batroc and was like, "Hey, kill Falcon."
Yeah, but I didn't know if she was still in disguise. I didn't know.
I kind of was feeling that because I thought there was when we were introduced to her and it was the two guys, Zemo and her.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find the power broker. I was like, this can go one of two ways.
Right.
Either Zemo's been the power broker all along, which would be cool, or she is somehow the power broker.
Right.
And I kind of get that. I thought it was going to be kind of lame for her just to show up to be like the token, person who comes back and just gets the pardon and is like, oh, well, everything's good again now. Like, no, like I've been gone for 5 years. Forgot about me. What the fuck? Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So and then it was confirmed a couple days ago that well, I guess we could just jump into that part of the news, right? I mean,
yeah, let's jump into the movie.
Yeah, Grace. Yeah. So movie news: Marvel Studios announced they're moving forward with Captain America 4. The newest Captain America movie will follow the events of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Sam Wilson is Captain America. The writers of the script are the frontrunner of the show, Malcolm Spellman and Daylon Musan. So yeah, they're just like, okay, we gave you guys the taste. Here you go, Captain America 4. Bam, awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'm in.
Yeah. It was such a great show. 6 episodes, they're perfect. I mean, when you put them all together, it was a movie.
And it's funny looking back on it now, because like we talked about the rumors where Feige was saying like, I have thoughts for season 2. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, of course you do have thoughts for season 2. It's the fucking movie.
Right. It's going to be the movie. The suit looks so awesome, like you said, though, man. The wings and the shield, and it is good.
Look up the suit in the comics.
Yeah.
It's like almost 1-for-1. It's so perfect. I was really happy about it.
I don't know how they got that headpiece to work. Is what I like, where it wraps around and his ears go through it. I'm like, and I was watching him like turn his head and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that thing is sticking to him. Like, I don't know how they got to work so perfectly.
Yeah, it could have easily looked goofy.
Yeah, oh for sure. Like I was getting like old Flash vibes if that didn't go well.
I'll be interested to follow this because I want to see who's going to be the villain. Because Sam didn't really have a villain of his own.
Yep.
Sam in the comics he was very honestly like, I'm going to be my Captain America.
Right.
And I'm going to try to take care of the people that look more like me.
Mm-hmm.
and dealt with some things like inner city violence and borders like issues and stuff like that, like stuff we talk about every day outside of the world of comics. So I'll be interested to see what they do for like the villain of the movie, because that's going to say a lot as to what the story arc is going to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Are we going to see Chris Evans in it? Is my question. Like old Cap.
Yeah, I've been seeing rumors left and right because we talked about Chris Evans allegedly signed for more stuff. So
we'll see. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see it.
What I really want to see, somebody else do this out. This is not my idea, but what I want to see now is somebody said, "What if they do Chris Evans as as a Disney Plus show, and it's Chris Evans like during the '70s when he's like, or something like that."
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I mean, I don't know. I would kind of like him not to show up in the future movies because the theories behind him, like the comment about isn't Cap on the moon?
Right.
And stuff like that. It seems to be more fun than actually like answering the question.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's in space right now or something. Yeah, so overall, great show, fantastic, well done. Can't wait for the movie. We had known that Russell Crowe was casted for Thor: Love and Thunder, and now we know that he's going to be playing Zeus. So, and I think that's pretty fitting. I think he's going to pull Zeus off great.
Yeah, he'll be great. And now the question becomes, who's going to be Hercules?
Yeah.
Because Hercules is a very prominent character in Marvel. So. Yeah, it's great casting, and it's obviously I was wrong about my prediction, but this is perfect, and I'm down for this.
I think you get the guy who plays Hawk and Dove in Titans. Make him Hercules.
That could work.
I can't remember his name. He's from Blue Mountain State. He's a big dude.
I would just love, because Hercules in Marvel, like a very prominent gay character in Marvel. So, but he's also just an interesting character, and he's been around long enough where it's like he's a little witty, and he's almost like not quite Spider-Man, but like Spider-Man-esque when he's fighting. So I would be down to see him. Awesome. I don't think we'll get a Hercules movie.
Yeah, right.
I'd be down just for him to show up.
And then out of nowhere, we got a Shang-Chi trailer.
Oh god, yes!
What the hell? This movie looks so good.
The best praise I can give it is I am super excited, and I could give a shit less about Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, so let's talk about the reason I'm excited. I mean, I talk about Shang-Chi and how it's we're lacking a Kung Fu character. Iron Fist, he's good, but he doesn't really do it for me. It's like, a white guy doing Kung Fu. Now, Shang-Chi, this is proper, and they didn't show it in the trailer, but Fing Fang Foom is casted on IMDb. So, we're getting the dragon somewhere, people. For people that don't know, Fing Fang Foom is the dragon that's like the overarching like center of all the mysticism and Kung Fu within like Marvel. But the title of the story is The Ten Rings, and everybody thinks like, the Mandarin rings. But if you see I can't remember his father's name, but he's wearing like these bracelets, and a lot of people are theorizing like those were actual rings that were on like Fing Fang Foom, because they're huge on a human, right? But they would be really small, like for a dragon to put on like its toenails or something. And I'm like, oh man, these theories are awesome.
Yeah, I saw those. I figured those were the 10 rings, and I'm fine because the rings, the finger rings, is like it works in comics, but it would be a little like silly in a movie.
Right. Yep.
So I'm down with that being what it is. That's fine. I just gotta say, like it looks like a Kung Fu movie, but it looks like a Western Kung Fu movie. Right. And I don't mean that in like a negative connotation. I just mean it looks like somebody put a shitload of money into a Kung Fu movie. And I think the guy playing Shang-Chi is like, he's endearing and just charming.
Yep.
And also we're getting the actual Mandarin in this too.
Oh yeah, yeah, the real
So
man. Yeah.
I
Um.
I'm down. Sign me up.
So, yeah, a lot of the cast is like Aquafina. Her name is like the water, but it's spelled a little differently. She was from Crazy Rich Asians. Because that was like the vibe I was getting out of the beginning of the movie. Because obviously he's like from his dynasty, he's crazy rich.
Hmm.
And that's the kind of the setup for the movie is like, okay, Shang-Chi knows that he's a descendant and is like fit to lead his clan, but like he's like, okay, I need to go party it up and dick around for a while before I do that.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
on a rum springer.
yeah, so Rumspringa. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Rumspringa. That's awesome. But the trailer looks awesome. I love the. Oh, someone pointed out in the trailer that the dude from Spider-Man that says, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip," isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
he's on the train when like Shang-Chi's doing all kung fu shit. So like he's just like sitting there and he's like, nice. So that was pretty funny. I mean, this movie, I hope it like sets a good precedent moving forward of like we can get more of this. Like and and this is the type of like I don't know, I was getting like Rush Hour vibes almost.
Yeah.
Like if I had attributed this, like there's no a westernized kung fu was like, Rush Hour, Shanghai Nights or Shanghai Noon,
Yeah. Shit. Who's the
Jackie
actor?
Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Jackie Chan is the only kung fu stuff I like.
Yeah,
So it
because it's
makes complete
westernized stuff.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, even his older Jackie Chan's older movies, like, and I could talk about Jackie Chan for an hour, but his older stuff that was like dubbed and then brought over to the U.S.,
Yeah.
like Rumble the Bronx. I can't even think of some other stuff, but anyways, this like gives me those vibes of like it's most of the original kung fu is just kung fu, but this is like it's got the like there's a lightheartedness to it as well and some heart, I guess. I don't know, but it just looks awesome.
Oh, and it's I think for MCU in particular, we gotten away from the different genre movies inside of MCU.
Yep.
And when Marvel was at its peak, you know, Captain Winter Soldier and that time, we had movies that were genre films that just fit into this universe. And I feel like we're getting back to that feeling. And now
Mhm.
we got a kung fu movie that just fits inside the MCU.
Yeah.
And I mean, the movie looks great. I'm excited for the movie itself. I'm also just excited for the idea of Shang-Chi just like showing up down the line too.
Oh
And
yeah.
like Shang-Chi and Sam Wilson being like, "Hey guy, what's up?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And and seeing what that interplay is with that character. So yeah, this is I'm excited. I really it's hard not to be excited about a new MCU movie, especially
Right.
after the year drought we had.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so pumped for Shang-Chi though. Like Iron Fist, they really dropped the ball with that.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they had and how to treat it. But this is how you do it. This is a style like so many times I've talked with people about like Rush Hour 2 is like such a funny movie and the fight scenes in that movie are so awesome and we haven't had anything like that in since Rush Hour 2. So like give me a good kung fu movie like this. I mean, you could say oh The Great Wall with Matt Damon. No. It was fun and enjoyable to watch, but this is what I want. So thanks Marvel for
Yeah.
doing one
With
for the fans.
an actor that actually looks like he can do kung fu. I don't know if he
Yeah.
can or can't, but he
My
actually
only
looks like
gripe
he can.
My only gripe as like, guys, was Donnie Yen busy for this one? You didn't call up Donnie Yen? Just saying.
If he's 1000% gonna have a cameo,
I hope.
like it wouldn't shock me if he was like, I don't want to do this, but like I'll show up and be like the guy in the background. It's like, yeah,
Right.
get him, Shang Chi.
Yeah.
But like,
Or maybe they have a like for like the villain for the next movie because like I mean we know Marvel Disney works with Donnie Yen. They had him in Rogue One, so maybe he shows up for like I mean, but like someone call up Donnie Yen, dude. He's done making those Zip Man films, I think, and we know he's really fast.
so
So
yeah,
hit him up. All right, so let's jump to this awesome interview we have with Frankie White, and we shall see everybody on the other side.
and we're back.
Awesome. So please, next Wednesday, or coming up Wednesday, a couple days from now, the 28th, local comic shops, 25th, Comixology, 25th. Pick it up. It's good stuff. And it's already finished. You don't have to worry about the story never being finished because it's finished. 3 issues.
Yeah.
Buy it. All right, we got a lot of comic news to dig through here, Chris.
A lot of thoughts.
A lot of thoughts. Yeah. Marvel has announced a new miniseries spinning out of the events of the current Spider-Man run. The series is called Sinister War and will be written by Nick Spencer with art by Mark Bagley. The series will feature 2 different versions of the Sinister Six fighting a civil war. I mean, come on, Nick Spencer. It's good shit right there.
I don't talk about it much because I got behind, but the Spider-Man run's solid.
Yep.
It's solid, so I'm down for this. And Doc Ock's coming back, everybody.
Yeah, we get Doc Ock back.
Doc Ock hasn't been back in a while, so...
Right. I think that's a cool concept, though, like villains fighting villains for we're the real Sinister Six, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
for galactic suppression.
After the announcement that Marvel was teaming up with manga creators in Japan to bring the characters to the Japanese audience, we're finally getting the US releases. Nao Fuji's Marvel Meow will release October of 2021, and Sanshiro Kasama and Hikaru Yusugi's Deadpool Samurai will release February 2022. So look out for those. I can tell you right now, Deadpool Samurai is going to sell like hotcakes.
That I was reading about it. That actually hit real big in Japan too.
Yeah,
like people really attached to it, which makes sense because I was talking to a buddy recently about how my pull list has been smaller recently, and a part of that is like some of the fun comics are missing. And we'll talk about one later, but I've started to find like manga that I didn't know about that's just fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I've been like digging into that, so I think that audience really just attaches to it.
Shazam is returning to comics with a 4-issue miniseries spinning out of Teen Titans Academy. I love Shazam. I don't read Teen Titans Academy, but the series is going to be written by Tim Sheridan with art by Clayton Henry. I don't really know what's going on spinning out of Teen Titans Academy, but I mean Shazam's a character that I love, so
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I believe I know Tim Sheridan. That was the guy who did the Future State book.
Yep. And
I like that, so...
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Justice League Unlimited is returning as a new digital-first comic series. This is pretty big. The series will be written by James Tucker and J.M. DeMatteis, with art by Ethan Beavers. Much like Batman The Adventure Continues, the series will follow the events of the Justice League Unlimited and feature characters that have never appeared in the cartoon. The first digital installment will go on sale May 13th, with the print version appearing on July 6th. I think, I mean, they're seeing success with these like continuations of the cartoon shows, right? So,
yeah, not even just cartoons. I mean, everything.
Everything.
Batman 89.
Yeah. I love Justice League Unlimited, so I'm definitely picking this up for sure.
1,000% I will.
Yep. Looks like DC's making some big changes to the Superman comic line. Starting with July, the main Superman comic will be canceled and replaced by Superman, Son of Kal-El. The new Superman book will feature John Kent as Superman and will be written by Tom Taylor with art by John Timms. But that is not the end of Clark as Superman. Action Comics will continue with Clark at the lead and with the current creative team that's on Superman now. The new miniseries titled Superman and the Authority will launch with Grant Morrison writing and Michael Janin on art. Okay, so I was a little worried at first when they said they were shaking things up with Superman. But you're putting Tom Taylor on the Superman title. They're making Action Comics the Superman story. This is a little confusing for people that are like, you're into Superman right now, which we are. Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing it. And it's good shit. So am I going to be reading 3 Superman books?
Yeah, right?
Is this really going to happen?
I was a little mad when I first read this. And it's not... I love Tom Taylor, but I was like, you know what? Philip K. Johnson finally getting a spotlight and they take it away from him.
Right.
But he's still going to do Action Comics, which
Yep.
is awesome. Tom gets to go on another big name. Like, I think this is his first like truly mainstream big name book.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's done Suicide Squad. Yeah, he's doing Nightwing, but
Right.
that is not Superman.
Right. That's not Superman.
So I'm down to check those out. I'll probably stick with. I'm going to stick with Action, obviously. I'll at least check out Son of Kal-El. Superman and the Authority. I'm going to wait to hear what you have to say on that one.
Yeah,
Because I'm not an Authority guy.
I read the Authority part of it back in the day, and I never finished it. But I mean, I'm a big Grant Morrison fan. And the Jan and art it's going to be good. I'm just curious to see what he does with Superman here. This is a good one. DC has listened to my cries and prayers at night. We're getting a new Booster Gold and Blue Beetle series titled Blue and Gold. Oh my god. Written by Dan Jurgens, art by Ryan Sook. The series will have Booster's attempt to become an internet influencer recruiting Blue Beetle to help. This is going to be the book of the year, people. It sounds awesome. Right?
I can't get over Booster Gold wanting to be an Insta.
Well, that's him.
I know.
That's him.
Everybody I've had this conversation with is just like, it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
like I don't care. I still think it sounds goofy.
Yeah. Is it Brave the Bold where he has like a billboard or some shit and he's like marketing his own toothpaste and stuff like that? Like,
I'll check it out because, as I mentioned before, I've been looking for books that are fun. I want
Dan Jurgens writing it. I mean, come on,
and I love Jurgens. Jurgens makes some great comics. So,
yeah, I'm so excited for this. DC's Black Label is getting a Joker series. This one's called Suicide Squad. Get Joker. Oh God, it'll be written by Brian Azzarello, art by Alex Maleev. What?
I want to support Maleev.
Yeah.
But, I don't care.
Yeah. Azzarello's writing has never been super strong. And I don't need another Joker book. And I'm glad they're doing a DC Black Label because it's, out of continuity, people doing their own thing. That's fine. It's not for me. So there's people that love the Joker. So, yeah, good for them to...
There's a big Azzarello following, too. And I could never get into his work.
His art is great. His writing is a little. I never.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think it's a love him or hate him kind of thing because I know people that swear by everything he writes. So,
and I just don't think it's his character writing isn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're kind of flat, but I mean,
listen,
whatever.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, there's people out there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and there's enough Joker fans out there to this book will sell 50,000 copies. So,
why does Maleev have to be on it? Because I want to support.
It's going to look great. It'll be a pretty book. So, all right. IDW announcing some stuff. They have a new miniseries from John Layman and Nick Bradshaw titled Bermuda. This series is about a young girl who lives on a hidden island inside the Bermuda Triangle, and what happens when the door between her world and ours is opened. Sounds pretty neat.
Yeah, so Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's okay, so this is Themyscira, right?
But once again, I like Layman, and I want to support Layman.
Yeah, for sure.
The premise does nothing for me, though.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I'll kind of skip this one. But, good for them.
Vault Comics getting a new horror series from writer Cullen Bunn and artist Layla Lays called The Last Book You'll Ever Read. Civilization is a lie, hidden deep in our genes is the truth. It's slowly clawing its way to the surface. Olivia Cade knows the truth, and she's become the prophet of the coming collapse. Her book, Seder, is an international bestseller, and is being blamed for the acts of senseless violence and bloodshed all over the world. Olivia's own life is in danger from those who have read her work. Determined to conduct a book tour, she hires a security professional. Hold on. Connor Wilson to act as her bodyguard. She has the only requirement: he cannot read her work. I'm sure that's going to go great. I'm sure he's not going to read it at all. That's an interesting concept, a book to drive everyone insane. That's not the Bible. Ooh, controversial.
Charles Soule did a novel that's similar to this idea, where it was a guy who had premonitions,
Yeah.
and he wrote down these premonitions on a website, and they slowly started to come true over time. And some of them were like big, like, you know, America's going to nuke Russia.
Right.
And some of them were just like, this guy in Texas who's lactose intolerant is going to have a chocolate milk tomorrow.
Yeah.
And as people slowly started going insane, and like it just led into all this political espionage shit, and it was awesome. And that's what this reminds me of.
Uh-huh. So, I mean,
So
yeah.
the horror aspect wouldn't necessarily drag me in, but
Right.
the more broad, she's kind of has these premonitions and wrote a book with all them in it, and now it's kind of like the world's getting fucked up because of her premonitions.
Mm-hmm.
That I am down for that. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking Colin Bunn.
Plus it's Colin Bunn, so awesome.
And Vault Comics, like, good on them. They're getting some good stuff recently.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Vault's killing it. Amelia Clark isn't just joining the MCU, this is kind of crazy, but publishing her first comic series with co-writer Margaret Bennett and artist Layla Lays. Yeah, okay. Co-writing with Margaret Bennett, no big deal. The series is called MOM, Mother of Madness. It's about a single mother who discovers she has powers and then uses them to fight human traffickers. This sounds awesome. I'm probably gonna check this out, to be honest.
I like the cover for the first issue they put out.
Uh-huh.
It was really cool. It reminded me of that. Remember when we had what was his name, Sandlin, on the show?
Yep.
And the alt cover with the head.
Yeah, and all the things. Yeah.
It was like that, but it was the woman's head and like some of the things they're going through.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's another one. I'll probably wait.
Yeah.
To see what people say, but it'd be good on her.
Yeah.
It's a cool premise.
It'd be interesting if like any of the proceeds go towards like human trafficking prevention or something like that. I'm wondering if that they're
maybe.
Yeah, because that's like, I mean, that's not just like a thing you usually write books about, right? Like to be specific about that, but
now you say that, I'd be interested to know if like she or her family or someone close to her, like,
I know a lot of famous people are bringing awareness to that. Like I know Ashton Kutcher is a huge advocate for that stuff, like just in his own time. So that's good. I mean, it's a pretty big issue. So Kyle Higgins has another series coming to Image Comics called Ordinary Gods with artist Felipe Watanabe. The series is about 5 gods from a realm beyond our own, leaders in the War of Immortals. At least they were before they were trapped, sent to a planet, made into a prison, forced into an endless cycle of human death and reincarnation. Ordinary Gods follows a 22-year-old Christopher. Hey, we know a Christopher. He's got 2 loving parents and a 12-year-old sister. He works at a paint store. He's in therapy. He's one of 5, which means in order to save everyone he cares about, Christopher will have to reconnect with his past lives to do the unthinkable, become a god again. This sounds pretty dope. It sounds like an Image comic for sure. Image Comics and gods, name a more iconic duo, right? But yeah, it sounds pretty cool to me. And Kyle Higgins, great writer.
Yeah, I'm becoming more of a Higgins fan. I mean, Radiant Black, I think I got issue 3 here, but Radiant Black's been really good. So yeah, I'll check this out. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I can really connect with the main character here. I mean, every once in a while I become a god too.
Yeah. So no big deal. That's totally me. Yeah, and with that, I guess we'll just talk about what we read this week.
Let's do it.
Oh man, I didn't talk about Mortal Kombat, but we'll talk about it next week. Completely forgot about that. I had Justice League number 60, Bendis and Marquez. Did you read this?
No.
Okay, so the last episode brought Black Adam and the Justice League to Naomi, which the whole issue revolves around her and her powers and her home planet, and they think the villain is from the home planet, so they bring up this like plan for Flash to build this giant cosmic treadmill that brings everybody over to the home planet to find this dude. They get there, the planet's destroyed, and they're all split up. So I'm sure it's going to go great for everybody. There's a pretty cool, or like a funny moment where they're like investigating a crime scene where the villain had attacked, and like Batman and Superman are doing like their back and forth thing, and Aquaman's like, "Oh, people are here to see us," and so he says that like, "Oh, people are here to see us," and they're like waving, and he goes over and he starts like signing autographs and like taking pictures with the kids, and they're like, "Are Batman and Superman fighting? Do they always do that?" He's like, "Yeah, they always do that," but it was like a funny moment that like that's what separates the Justice League from like the cops is like there's a crime scene, like a giant crater in the middle of the city, and you guys are standing around investigating it, but also you have fans like children and people that like look up to these superheroes in suits.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a funny moment at first, but then I was like, oh yeah, someone's gonna have to do it, and why not Aquaman? Because it's not like they're investigating in the ocean right now. Like, he doesn't really contribute to this crime scene at all. So plus you have Batman, like the world's greatest detective. It was interesting. And then the second part, this is the $5 book, everybody, that has this mini story at the end, so they charge you another dollar. Is the Justice League Dark Story with Ram V. Basically, we know that Merlin's back. He's the biggest, baddest magician that we keep hearing about. The Entrigan, the demon, sits down with the Justice League and he warns them. They're like, "We don't want any part of it. You guys can handle it. You're the magician people, the dark magic." So they set out to find Merlin. As Merlin goes into a bookstore, he kills the owner and takes all these pages from a book and says, "I'm going to turn the stories alive." I don't know if they're fairy tales or something that he's going to create. But the person that works at the bookshop that shows up and finds the owner dead is Ragman. So Ragman is back, and it seems like he's personally connected now to this because the guy he worked with, this older man that he would trade books with, is dead now because of Merlin. So Ragman's pissed. I don't remember the last time we've seen Ragman. I know he popped up in Society, right? Or not? Was he in like Jeff Johns JSA?
So he was okay. Yes, but he's shown up after that too because he had his own mini series during New 52.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm sure he might have popped up somewhere else. I just didn't read.
He's not one of those characters. He gets his own miniseries. Don't do it.
Well, I think the only reason he did is that was around the time that he was on Arrow.
Oh, right. I
remember that.
Yeah, I remember that he was on Arrow. Oh, God. Okay. And then the rest of the stuff I read this week. Derek Robertson's Batman story, The Legends of the Dark Knight. There's 4 issues. They're digital onlys on Comixology right now. They're only 99 cents a piece for like a 20-page comic. It's Derek Robertson writing a Batman story about this chemical gas leaking out. Batman's going through his rogues gallery to try to find out who does it. And it's written and drawn by Derek Robertson. It's a book for 99 cents. I read the first 3 issues. I'm a Batman fan. I'm a Derek Robertson fan. You'll like this. It's worth the price of entry. And some of the art, some of the the character designs, like the Joker and the Riddler and stuff like that, are just look awesome. So yeah, it's a solid Batman story so far, and I like it. So it was a nice little thing to discover this week. That's all I got to this week, though.
So actually, I'll start with the new. I got S.W.O.R.D number 5, which was I actually had to talk with a friend about it because there was things in here that confused me because it goes way back in like X-Men history.
Okay.
But there's a character called Cortez who apparently has a history with Magneto, and most of this issue was like Magneto scolding him and basically like putting him in his place.
Okay.
And in the back of it all, there was a covert space group that was trying to stop an intergalactic civil war, and by doing it, they did what America likes to do, which is kill the dictator they don't like and place the dictator they do like in place.
Yeah, makes sense.
Not to get too political, everybody.
Yeah.
But what I really want now is a one-shot comic with Magneto and Peepers, because there's literally a moment where they're sitting. Fabian gets or Cortez gets resurrected, and he's just butt-ass naked. And they're like, "Come to the council. We need to talk with you." And he's like, "I'll get clothes." And he doesn't. And so they sit down in the council, and then like Peepers walks in. And he's like, "Well, why is he here?" And Magneto just goes, Peepers is one of my truest and longest friendships in the world, and I wanted him here in this. I'm just like, I want Magneto and Peepers best friends forever. Get me this one shot now.
But does Magneto feel the same way? I guess is the probably not.
And then actually, kind of sticking with that, I got Way of X #1, which is the Cy Spurrier and Quinn book. This centers around Nightcrawler. And I feel like after talking with some people, felt a little bit stronger about this than others did, because it hits a story theme that I like, which is we live in Eden. What's underneath Eden? What's kind of the dirt that lives underneath the beautiful flower kind of idea. And what also is in here is Nightcrawler really trying to figure out who he is in this new Krakoan world, because Nightcrawler is a very known Catholic character who is very deep in his religion.
Yep.
And now does he have a kind of an issue with the whole resurrection thing? And plus he's like seeing some of the younger mutants like kind of mocking the resurrection, where they're just like, oh yeah, go ahead and kill me, and they get shot in the first pages, a guy gets shot in the head because he was mocking someone with a gun.
Okay.
And they're like, what does it matter? I get resurrected. So he's having issues with his religion, like who he is or who he thought he was, and how he fits into this new world. And then there's also that kind of backstory of like Kurt's going, I think I want to create something for mutants that's like, a type of religion. I want to try to fit that into our world. So it's hitting themes that like I really like. Not necessarily I connect to, I just like in terms of the stories.
Yeah.
And I love this issue. If it wasn't for that Batman Superman issue, this probably would have been my favorite issue of the month or the year so far. It was sticking with Marvel, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #2. So Chip Zdarsky has a story in here with Mark Cianchetto, which was phenomenal. That's the Daredevil team. And then, but the big one here is the Donny Cates story with Ryan Hotz, which is really a connection to King in Black. And it was Carnage is resurrected once again, but then is kind of shot down. But I like the way he wrote the story for the format. So he really went into the whole idea of, we live in a world of black and white, but there's also this thing that connects us all, and it's blood. And like he hits themes pretty hard. I would say even if you're not a Carnage fan, if you're just Donny Cates fan, or you liked his Venom run like I did, it's a solid pickup just for that story alone. And then Ram V does the backstory, which is good. Like I said, those two didn't connect with me as much as the Donnie one did, because that kind of connected more into the overall Venom stuff. And then Radiant Black #3. In this issue, we get our lead character is still trying to figure out not only like what the whole superhero thing means for him, but like he's still focused on this idea that he's a writer. And so the whole issue is like a man with writer's block. And then how do you get over writer's block? And what he ends up doing is going out and saving people and being a hero. And then when he gets home, he has the inspiration to write his story.
Oh, cool.
And what I really loved about it was the stops and starts of his story, because I've been there personally. And being like, I know what I want to write, but then he starts going and he gets partway through a story and he's like, I don't want to. Like, there's literally a line here. He's like, I don't want to write about a chick that just like robs a bank. That's dumb. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I really like Radiant Black. I think more people should check it out.
Cool. Awesome.
And then my last two. This one I apologize to everyone for, but I got to talk about it. It's hard to find, but it's Tankers #1 from Bad Idea Comics.
Oh, wow.
This is Robert Venditti writing. I love this book so fucking much. The whole premise is that the oil companies are running out of oil, so they don't. There's no gasoline or anything like that. So instead of like trying to find new ways of energy, they go with the most obvious, which is we've actually been working on time travel. We're going to go back in time. We're going to stop the meteor from hitting the Earth, so the dinosaurs can live a little bit longer and we can have more oil.
Oh my God, makes sense.
whole first issue is like this group of guys who go in these mech suits, go back in time and just slaughter a bunch of dinosaurs and then shoot a meteor. That's basically the issue.
That's awesome.
But it's awesome. And the art is fantastic.
I need to buy this book ASAP.
It sucks because Bad Idea. I like their premise. I like what they do because the whole idea is they only sell to a select amount of stores. They don't do digital copies. So it's kind of like a really like, what's the word I'm looking for? Insiders club, like almost hipsterish club thing. Right. But the 2 books I gotten from so far have been awesome. So it's tough. I wish more people get their hands on this one.
Yeah, they're I think a lot of them go for quite a bit of money too, just because like you can't get a hold of them.
Yeah, ENIAC, which I got partway through the first issue. I think the first issue, if you have the first printing, goes for like $200, and it hasn't even been out a month.
Yeah, like Tankers goes for $20.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And that's like because of the artificial scarcity of them.
Yep, that's how it goes.
And then my last book is a manga book that I picked up called Delicious in Dungeon.
Whoa, what's that?
Have you ever heard of this?
No, that sounds awesome.
It is awesome. So the whole premise is they live in basically a D&D world where they're adventurers, they can be resurrected, each has a different class, and they go in these dungeons and they have to, bring stuff back out so they can sell them and make money and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first page, like chapter of it, the main group, the main character's sister gets eaten by a dragon. And then they get chased out of the dungeon, and they're sitting around, like half of the group leaves, and then there's just 3 of them sitting there. And they're trying to figure out like how long it takes a dragon to digest somebody, because they can't resurrect her if she's poop. And that's literally a line of dialogue where they're just like, well, has anyone ever resurrected somebody out of poop before?
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And so they have to go back in, but they got no money, no supplies, no nothing.
Yeah.
They go in, and it's revealed that our lead character has been like researching behind the scenes. It's done this really goofy anime way, but it's fine. Behind the scenes, like, we could eat the monsters that we kill along the way.
Yeah, right.
And then they meet this dwarf who's also been miraculously just been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so each chapter is a different like mini adventure of them coming across some sort of monster and then how they cook them.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they go into a trap room, and they make, I forget the Japanese word for it, but deep-fried food.
Okay, katsu?
Yes.
Yep.
So they make that out of but they use the different traps, like the fire trap to boil up the oil. Mm-hmm. They find out that one of the traps has, like, in order to create the fireballs, they're using olive oil to create them.
Oh, wow.
So they steal from that to get the oil. Like, it's... It's silly and goofy and weird, and it's so unique. And it just brought I read it in one sitting. It brought a giant smile to my face. I highly recommend it.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So that's everything, Mike. Where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
They can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and they can find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter. Also at FortressComicNews.com. Everybody, if you want to leave us a review on whatever podcatcher you use, it helps us a ton, and we very much appreciate it. And if you're watching us on the YouTube, to like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and hit that bell notification button. All those things help us get more views, and we appreciate that as well. And if you want to be that awesome, super duper mega listener, to go over at patreon.com/fortresscomics, where for $2 a month, you could get the Bat Friends podcast 3 days early. And there's other goodies on there too, and we're working towards more goals where we could do more stuff and provide you with more entertainment. And as always, all those links, including the links with the guest today, Frankie White, are down below, as well as the link to our TeePublic store where you get some awesome merch, including the hoodie that Mike is currently wearing. So thanks all so much for listening, and we'll see y'all here next week.